The crisp autumn air of September 6, 2025 felt like a blessing as Mark carried the car seat through the front door. Sunlight streamed through the windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air like tiny celebratory sprites. His wife, Sarah, followed close behind, her steps slow but her smile radiant. She looked at their new home, every corner filled with the promise of a future they had meticulously planned. This was it, the final piece of their perfect life, nestled snugly in the carrier. Their son, Leo. He was a quiet baby with a tuft of dark hair and eyes that seemed to hold the depth of an old, calm sea. They had waited for this moment, dreamed of it, and now it was real. They placed the carrier gently in the center of the living room floor, a silent, precious monument to their love. The house, once just a collection of rooms and furniture, suddenly felt complete, imbued with a new, profound purpose. Mark knelt down, his large hands hovering just above the sleeping infant, afraid to disturb the tranquility. Sarah joined him, their shoulders touching, a silent pact of protection and infinite affection. They watched the gentle rise and fall of Leo's chest, each breath a soft, rhythmic reassurance. This was their world now. The rest of the day passed in a blissful, surreal haze. As evening descended, casting long, soft shadows across the floor, they prepared for the first night, no premonition of the silence that was about to be broken. The baby monitor on the nightstand crackled to life just after 2 a.m. At first, it was just static, a familiar hiss in the dead of night. Mark, half asleep, stirred beside Sarah. He expected a cry, a wail, but that's not what came. Instead, a voice trickled through the speaker. It was low, it was calm, it was impossibly adult. The words were not a cry, not a plea, but a simple, clear statement. Mark's eyes snapped open in the darkness. He sat up, his heart pounding. He must have been dreaming. He crept down the short hallway to the nursery. He peered inside. Leo was sleeping peacefully, chest rising and falling. There was no sign of distress, no sign he had spoken. Mark felt a wave of foolishness wash over him. He told himself it was nothing, but he did not sleep again that night. The morning sun did wonders to dispel the shadows, both literal and psychological. Over coffee, with Leo gurgling happily in his bouncy seat, the night's event felt distant and absurd. Mark tried to explain it to Sarah, stumbling over the words, feeling more ridiculous with each sentence.
It sounded like a man, a very calm man. He said, "Return me."
Instead, Sarah laughed.
Honey, you were dreaming. We're both exhausted. The baby monitor probably picked up a truck driver's CB radio or a neighbor's smart speaker.
Her reasoning was a soothing balm, and Mark desperately wanted to believe it. They spent the day forcing a sense of normalcy, a deliberate performance for an audience of 2. They took Leo for a walk in the park, the stroller wheels crunching over fallen leaves. Mark tried to push the voice from his mind, burying it under a mountain of mundane tasks. That evening, as they prepared for bed, Mark found himself staring at the baby monitor with a sense of apprehension.
Don't worry, if I hear any truckers demanding to be returned to the mothership, I'll be sure to wake you.
He wanted to believe her. He needed to. As he lay in the dark listening to the familiar sounds of the house settling, he repeated her explanations to himself like a mantra. The second night was worse. The voice came at the same time just after 2. But this time it wasn't a single phrase. This time Sarah heard it too.
The place you took me from, it is quiet there. There is no light, there is no pain. I must be returned.
They scrambled out of bed and rushed to the nursery, hearts pounding. They burst in, flipping on the main light. Leo in his crib, eyes closed, breathing even. He looked like a perfect porcelain doll. They checked the closet. They looked under the crib. The window was locked. The rationalizations of the previous day now seemed like a cruel joke. They moved the crib beside their bed that night. On the third night, the voice didn't come from the monitor. It came from the crib beside them.
You do not understand. This vessel is loud, it is fragile, it feels too much. Your world is a cacophony of sensation. I require the stillness.
Their perfect life was cracking apart night by night. The world outside their front door ceased to exist. Friends called, their cheerful voices on the phone sounding like they came from another planet.
How's the baby? Are you getting any sleep?
How could they explain that their beautiful baby boy spoke to them in the night with the voice of an ancient, weary entity?
He's wonderful. We're just so tired, but it's the best kind of tired.
So they lied. Their once open and communicative relationship began to fracture under the strain. Arguments born from fear and sleep deprivation erupted over nothing.
It's not Leo. Something is wrong with him.
He's our son, Mark. We can't just abandon him. What are we supposed to do?
They became prisoners in their own home. During the day, they moved like zombies through a parody of family life. Leo in the daylight was a model infant. He simply watched them with his dark, unnervingly calm eyes. But as dusk approached, a palpable dread would descend upon the house. They were no longer parents protecting their child. They were keepers, guarding a terrible enigma that wore their son's face. On the seventh night, the voice changed again. The impatience was gone, replaced by a chilling instructional tone.
Before this there was only the dark, a cool dark, a silent dark, a crowded dark. We are legion. We wait in the space between. We have no form, no name, no pain. A door was opened, a shriek of light. You call it birth. For us, it is an abduction. We are pulled one by one into these vessels, these prisons of flesh and bone and noise. This is not a gift, it is a torment. The sensations are a fire, the emotions are a drowning sea.
It spoke of its brethren, countless others, waiting in that silent, crowded dark, and of the cosmic accident that had trapped it here.
I must be returned. You must open the way back to the stillness. You must end the vessel.
The meaning was unmistakable. It wanted to die. It was telling them, its parents, to kill their own child's body so that its consciousness could escape back to the silent, formless void it called home. Then came the final, soul-shattering turn. As Mark and Sarah stared at the crib in abject terror, a new sound emerged. A faint, muffled cry. It was weak, desperate, and unmistakably the cry of a real baby.
Ah, so that is where it has been. It is still in here.
In that instant, they understood. Their son, their real son, Leo, was trapped. He was a prisoner inside his own body, and the thing that spoke to them in the night was his warden, and it wanted out, at any cost.